Hey everybody, welcome back to season 6 of the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. It is a pleasure to be back. It really is. Had a lot of time off, a lot of time to think, reflect, recharge, unplug and re-energize. And today I was at the open training session for the Carlton Football Club at the newly developed Carlton Football Club. And it was cool. It was the first time I'd seen the redevelopment since it had been completed. And I guess the purpose of this video is, first of all, to officially kick off the content for season 2023 and start talking about things that I saw at training today. I mean, you know, it's a training session. There's not much you can take out of sessions, you know, at the end of November, the year before a season begins. But I think there are a few bits today that I saw which are worth talking about. And at the end of the video, I'll obviously want to get some of your thoughts as well. So first and foremost, it was good to see everybody. I think going to open training is just as much about catching up with everyone and hanging out with the family as much as what it is, you know, watching the training. The weather was good, sun was out, got a little bit of a burn, which was nice, which will turn into a nice tan at some point. And yeah, the drills were going ahead as I got there. I got there a little late, but I think, you know, of everything that I did see, I think the notable notions that I was looking for was probably just, what do bodies look like? You know, was there going to be anybody that had either put on significant size or anybody that had trimmed up noticeably? And there were probably 3 or 4 players that I saw with my own eyes. And granted, I was at one part of the ground and a lot of the training session was taking place at various parts of the ground. So I did only see a section of the full group. But those that I did see, I think the standout for me in terms of what did I see today that actually caught my attention, and it was Matt Cottrell. So I was told that he ran a 5-minute 59 2K time trial a few days ago. The boys did one which was not made public, but had some reports on the ground that the 2K time trial had taken place. And Cottrell ran a 5:59, which is a remarkable time. And when I saw him, he's definitely put on some weight and some size. Now, I know that notion can be overstated, but I asked some questions, did some digging. Apparently, he's put on 4 to 5 kilos, and you can really see it across his shoulder, and especially if you look at him from behind, he's a lot more thicker. And the fact that he's able to keep his running ability and have this size about him is, I think it's a positive piece of information. On the other end, Zach Williams looked very trim. I was told that he has not missed a session. He looks very fit. He definitely looks a lot more trim than I've ever seen him. Now, again, not taking too much out of that, not reading too much into it, but it's good to see him in shape. And then Mitch McGovern as well. I think the 3 of those boys are the ones that really stood out for me in terms of body composition. Jack Carroll, Durden, and Motlop also look to have really thickened up. Durden, especially in the legs. Motlop is just, he's a real weapon looking thing. He's in really good shape, and Carroll has put on another layer on that upper body as well. So that was good to see. There wasn't a lot of strapping, which was also a positive. A few shoulders. There are a few players that I didn't see today at all, and there are 3 players that I don't believe trained at all. I think they were either behind closed doors in the gym, doing something else. And those 3 were Sam Walsh, Caleb Marchbank, and David Cunningham. So they did not appear outside at all today from what I saw, unless they were there earlier before I arrived. There were a few players that were doing just laps and doing a lot of the running, but are not yet ready to partake in the contact drills. And those players are Corey Durden, Matt Kennedy, George Hewitt, Pitto. Those are the ones off the top of my head. But generally speaking, everyone was there, which was good to see. It was good to see young Ollie Hollands and Cowan out there as well. Hollands did most of the training session, and then once they went into match sim, he sort of went on his own. I remember I was watching him this morning. My first impression of seeing him in the flesh is that he's very slight. Now, I know he's got elite running ability, but he's certainly going to need to get into the gym, get down to Lygon Street, head to Danini's and carb up as much as possible. I think he's definitely going to need to add some layers of strength to his body and for him to really be able to impact games. But having said that, like, I don't really know. But just watching him, you could just tell he was living out his dream. He just got drafted, so that's a big deal. He's a Carlton supporter, so he knows what it's all about. And I can imagine he may have been at an open training session over the last few years on, the side of the fence that we were all on. And so to watch him just take shots on goal in a Carlton training singlet was really cool. And I think that's a really special day and a really special moment for him. But yeah, that was kind of it. That was what I saw today. Cottrell really stood out, like to the point where he's really done something to his body, and he's done some extras in the off season to set himself up well for a good preseason. Now the reality is, I think most bodies will probably wither away a little bit as the season goes on. So this could just be part of the program. The drills, there's not really much that I can give you in the sense of what they did today in the drills and who kicked the ball well, because it was just a standard training session. So I'm not going to read too much into anything, but nonetheless, it was good to see a lot of bodies out there. It was good to see good health for the most part. Not sure about Walshy just yet. I was a little bit surprised to hear that he hasn't been able to, rejoin the main group. I'm not sure how serious that back issue was towards the end of the year. I think the fact that, George Stewart was out there at least running laps and Walshy wasn't, I was a little bit concerned at the time. But then once I got home and thought about it, kind of realized like maybe it's just the day. Maybe their programs are the way that they fell to be. And, hopefully it's nothing too serious. But I think a lot of them who didn't partake in the contact, they'll all be back in full training by January. So that's the main thing there. And, we begin the journey to season 2023. It was good to see just something away from season 2022. It ended the way it ended. I'm not going to harp on about it. It's the pain that will hopefully fuel the group and, really mature the group and hopefully even bond the group even more than what they were last year. My sense is that everything has been pretty much business as usual. I really enjoyed the off season with the trade period and even the draft period as well. We seem to just get our business done. We seem to identify exactly what we needed, and we seem to execute on that with no fuss, no fanfare, no talking. It was just kind of get the job done, get out of there, don't delay anything. And I've been really pleased to see that. The draft watch-alongs were fun. It's good to see Pommy in his element doing his thing again. And it was good to see everyone that I saw today. There's something special about going to the club and hanging out with everyone. It's, we're not blood related, but there is a family element to it. We all have this common bond. So I'm pumped. I'm excited again. I'm excited to get the content running again. And I want to hear from you. What do you do in the off season? What happens when the footy ends? What do you do? Do you watch other sports? Are you working on something? Did you go away? Did you travel? I did a good 3.5 weeks away, which was just remarkable. So let me know in the comments below. What do you get up to in the off season, and what do you look forward to most in this pre-Christmas training block? What are you going to be looking out for, and what are some of the themes and issues that are on your mind as we start inching closer towards 2023? We'll see you in the comments, and we'll go from there. See ya.